bear witness to show you.
I'm telling you, who's the Father? Bless me, man. Bless me with your kindness. The blessing of the Lord make rich this morning.
Unfortunate of faith in heart, give them a bright new start, so that they can give strength to those who have faltered. Oh yes, I know you will not fail me now, 'cause I know someday, somehow, with your light, yes, they will see that you have blessed me with your kindness. I will do my best to pass it on and show that you have blessed me with your sweetness, and I will do my best.
I'm about to drop a song for the first time. I'm gonna debut this song today. I'm gonna debut this one today, man. Yes, we're gonna debut this next track here today with local artists. So we'll give them some love and debut this next track here this morning. Hope you're having a good time this morning. You lock inside the Pastor Steve show. Yes, local artists. Artist name Debbie Riley this morning. Check this song out.
I keep finding voices in my mind that say I'm not enough. Every single lie that tells me I will never measure up. And I'm more than just the sum of every high and every low. Remind me once again just who I am, because I need to know. Ooh, oh, you say I am love when I can't see a thing.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
My God, you say, yeah, brand new song.
I keep finding voices.
You say,
Let's say I'm not.
What did God say about you this morning? Everything they say.
Every single lie that tells me I will never measure.
Anybody can relate to this track, yeah? Anybody can relate to this song? Sing the song, people.
And I'm more than just the sum of every high and every low. Remind me once again just who I am, because I need to know.
What you say?
Ooh, oh,
What you say?
you say I am love when I can't see a thing. You say I am strong when I think I am weak. You say I am held when I am falling short. And when I don't belong, you say I am yours. And I believe.
I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you. I believe. Do you believe what God said about you this morning? Do you believe what he said about you? Brand new song from Debbie Riley. Brand new song. Say you heard the Pastor Steve show first.
I keep finding voices in my mind that say I'm not enough. Every single lie that tells me I will never measure up. And I'm more than just the sum of every high and every low.
Talk to me.
Remind me once again just who I am, because I need to know.
Ooh, come on.
You say I am love when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I am weak. And you say I am held when I am falling short. And when I don't belong, you say I am yours. And I believe. I believe. The only thing that matters now is everything you think of me. Think of me. In you I find my worth, in you I find my identity. Ooh, oh. You say I am love when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I am weak. And you say I am held when I am falling short. And when I don't belong, you say I am yours. And I believe.
Yes, I believe. Yes, I believe.
And I believe.
Any believers out there this morning? Big tune.
Taking all I have and now I'm laying it at your feet. You have every failure, God. You have every victory. Ooh, oh. You say I am love when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I am weak. And you say I am held when I am falling short. And when I don't belong, you say I am yours. And I believe what you say.
I believe. What you say about this song, man? Brand new song coming out. First time. Big up Bronx, big up New York, Brooklyn, 91. 91.3, 92.1, 102.9. Debbie Riley right here. Under the Riley upon the music scene. And I believe.
What you say of me, I believe.
Say, hear it first, but it ain't gonna be the last, man. I tell you. I believe what he said of me. Yeah, it's been a big tune, man. Big tune. I believe what he said of me. Yes, out of Debbie Riley and across too. That's the one called Alain.
It is time for Yes with Yesse. Please welcome your host, Yesenia Leva.
When Jesus says yes, when Jesus says yes, no one can say no. When Jesus says yes, no one can say no. Good evening, good afternoon, good evening, New Season family. Thank you so much for joining another episode here of Yes with Yesse. O sí con Yesse, porque aquí se habla inglés, español, de todo un poco, right? Español y inglés.
Habla los dos.
Los dos. Ay, aquí tenemos a Colombia. And which you guys will meet very, very soon. So tonight is going to be a really awesome episode, guys. You don't want to miss it. Please share the broadcast. It's going to be very informative, very inspirational for many, and just and that's what it's all about. That's what Yes with Yesse is all about. It's sharing our unique stories and letting you guys know, letting the world literally know that, hey, we might have our differences, but at the end of the day, we are all human. We are all one, the human race. And so we're going to share similarities, our similarities, differences, and just what we want you guys to know, right? What we want you guys to know from each of our perspectives. You guys have heard from me a lot, so I'm going to let him talk a little bit later. So in the meantime, do me a favor, share the broadcast. Let others know that we are here. Again, you don't want to miss it. It's going to be really awesome talk this evening here on Yes with Yesse, a story of of three things, right? Improve, adapt, and overcome. That's powerful. And that did not come from me. And I'm so proud. So improvise, adapt, and overcome. Those are three things I want to keep you in mind as we start our conversation this evening. And so thank you everyone for tuning in. Share the broadcast. Let others know that we are here. Send out the notification. Share it on social media. Share it in messages. And you never know who it will impact, inspire, who it will motivate. You never know who needs that one word that can make all the difference, right? And so good evening, everyone. I see you. I see Mommy Gladys. I see you. Brother Rando, thank you so much for joining. Sister Joy, thank you. Everyone, thank you for joining. Do me a favor, share the broadcast. Let others know that we are here. And this young man that I have on my left, right? Yes, on my left is one of my mentees. He's been one of my mentees for many, many years, probably around 10 years. I'm not that old, right? I'm not that
pretty
old.
Close to 10 years.
And there it goes. It's been around 10 years that he has been a mentee of mine, Mr. Andres Cruz. But before I tell you more, I want to introduce him with this unique song of ours that we found literally a few minutes ago, and it's really, really cool because it truly symbolizes the both of us. It really does symbolize the both of us. So without further ado, take a listen real quick before I introduce, or as I introduce our guest this evening. And like I said, please share the broadcast, Facebook and YouTube, and let others know that we are here because we are going to get ready to, we're going to get ready to talk a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
A little bit of everything, as I like to say.
A little bit of everything, a little bit of everything. A lot of times we see differences as less than, right? And we're here to prove to the world that just because you have a difference doesn't mean anything less of you. So this is our anthem, y'all. This is our anthem.
In the name of the Lord, praise the Lord. Long as you keep it clean and holy, it's holy and acceptable to Him. So we gonna wobble for the Lord up in here today. I hope y'all enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with praising Him and dancing. David danced, so we gonna dance like he did. You can two-step for the Lord.
Yes, so here with me this evening, I have, like I said, a mentor. He's like my son, and mom just gives him to me. So here I have with me Mr. Andres. Andres, welcome to the show.
Hi, hello. Thank you for having me. It's been a while you've been trying to get me on.
Guys, I've been trying to get this young man on the show forever, and it
finally happened.
It came from him. It didn't come from me, so I'm glad he acknowledged that. I've been trying for a while, but I'm so happy to have you on. I'm so happy to be able to have this conversation with you. And the reason that the joke behind that song is that we both wobble. I always say Andres is the male version of me, because he also was diagnosed with the same disability as I have, which is the spina bifida. So, Andres, tell the people a little bit about you. You know, who is Andres? You know, what do you do with your life? What things have you been involved with in the community and things like that?
So, like Yesse said, I've known her roughly 10 years, going on 10 years, maybe a little bit longer. But I've been in the community doing events like soccer, fashion shows with Yesse. That's how we met.
Yes.
But just putting myself out there, as we will talk about a bit later, just showing the community, showing everyone, including myself, that just because I have a different disability, it doesn't stop me. It won't stop me from doing what I want to do, doing what I like to do. But yeah.
And that's right. And I love this because you guys always hear from me, right? And I feel like males, men, young boys, we don't hear from them often. Right. And their experiences and their life experiences, what they go through, their feelings and that kind of thing, they kind of, shy away from sharing. And I am grateful for the fact that with Andres, we've been, we joke around a lot. It's, it's a very, it's a very impactful opportunity for me to be his mentor and to just be around him and known him for so long, and vice versa. And that he opens up to me a lot of just about different things, maybe sometimes even things that his mom might not know at that moment, right? But we get together with mom and this is what's going on, and we tackle that situation and just then work on that solution. And so that's the impact of the relatability when I can share my experiences with Andres and what he's going through at that moment, to be like, okay, well, I went through that. And so, this is how I worked through it. And so that's a very cool thing. As Andres said, he's very active in the community, and I'm sure I had nothing to do with that, but he's very active.
Small part. Small part of it.
Yeah, he's very active in the community. What do you do? Because you do a lot of stuff. Like
I'm everywhere.
Yeah.
Scuba diving, soccer.
Certified scuba diving.
Certified scuba diver. A couple years ago, but that's besides the point. So scuba diving, soccer, modeling. I like to draw on my free time, read, write, music. I was in marching band, which we'll get into a bit later.
If you can imagine someone like us that wobbles in a marching band holding a big keyboard, because he plays the keyboard.
That was me.
He plays
That's
the keyboard too.
like.
So very, very musically inclined, which I love, which we'll talk about that. But I love that. So very active. I've had opportunities to go see him performing and going to his plays. And it's kind of been like, the fairy godmother behind the scenes cheering him on. So that's an amazing opportunity. And so I want to talk a little bit about the topic, which, by the way, it came from him, which I love the fact that we had the conversation, and he's like, well, what about this? And we just talked it out. And so we're going to just talk a little bit about that topic, what it means to him as an individual overall. And then we're going to go into, the wins and the struggles, living with differences and being in a society that perhaps doesn't embrace that difference as much as we would like it to, or we advocate for. And I say we because individually and collectively, we do a lot of advocacy. And I'll tell you something that happened earlier in the week as well. I feel like he's been with me, tagging along with me
more this week than
ever.
So
that's been a good thing. So thank you so much for joining again. I see you. I think I see mom and dad there of Andres.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Pastor Henry, thank you for joining. Samara, I see you. Sister Marcia, thank you so much for joining. Sister Millie, thank you. And as you guys, please let me know if you can't hear me. Someone is saying that they can't hear. As you guys come on, please share the broadcast. Let others know that we are here. What does the phrase mean to you when you said improvise, adapt, and overcome?
So improvise, adapt, overcome. Not something that I came up with. I'm not going to take credit for it, but I don't remember where I first heard it. But what I take it as, what improvise, adapt, overcome is if there's not a straightforward answer, if there's not an quote unquote easy way to do something, I improvise, I figure it out, I adapt to that situation, make it easier for myself, and then there comes the last part. I overcome whatever struggle or situation I was having to get through.
Right. And it was interesting to me because what we often don't talk about is that those three things, improvising, adapting, and overcoming, are exactly three things that we are kind of conditioned to do when we're all grown enough to say, you know what, you have these differences, and I think it's a part of life, period, by the way. I'm just talking specifically disability because it's what we can relate to. But overall, that's what it's about. It's about adapting. It's about overcoming. And it's sometimes a lot about improvising. And we were talking about it earlier. And it's like, okay, you have to be independent. This is what we're told. We have to be independent. And you have to, let's just, to give you an example, clean your room and make your own lunches and things like that. And I don't care how you get it done, but get it done. Right? Get it. And so that's when the improvising coming in. I remember being told, if you can't, lift the laundry basket, drag it,
Pull it, push it.
I don't care what you
twist
do.
Twist it, bop it, however you want to get it done, you get it done.
I don't care what you do, just get it done. And so that is, and I've talked about it before, it kind of has a double-edged sword, right? Because absolutely, we got to get it done no matter what. Life goes on, life continues, and we have to do what we can for ourselves. But then it creates this this idea or this behavior or whatever it is of I can't ask for help. I have to do it myself.
Yeah,
right.
it's very much like you were saying, double-edged sword, where we're told we have to do it, and then it can get to a point where we think we have to do it alone, which isn't always the case, as we talked about.
And can't
earlier.
ask for help.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love this because you guys hear it from me, but hearing it from somebody
It's
else
the
is amazing.
independence factor
Oh.
of when we're told we should be able to do something for ourselves, it encourages us to take our independence, but then it also, our independence sometimes seems like it doesn't involve others when it should.
Sometimes our independence doesn't seem to involve others when it should. Ooh, I think we need to like copyright that. That's a book quote right there. And I when I hear that, I think about that interdependence, right? I talk about it often, where it was actually here in New Season where I learned that being interdependent of one another or being interdependent of your community is okay. Number one, and it's a necessity. It's necessary. And we are. I mean, we have services, right?
Yeah.
We get services, and we're working on more services for Andres. We have our family, we have our parents. You have
Family, friends. I'm just gonna take a second to call out some of my friends who are in the chat right now. Thank you for showing up, guys.
I see. Yes, absolutely. That's the support and community, right? Community. I mean, we have people coming on to support, and so we are really interdependent of each other, whether we like it or not. And it's okay to be interdependent. It's okay to ask for help because it makes life kind of less.
It makes it easier, for lack of a better word.
Makes it easier. It makes it less heavy. Right? Like
Less to carry on
on your own. Right.
Yeah.
So it's like we're called to carry our brothers and sisters' burdens. And so that's what we do when we can share, when we can have community and the support and the friends and the family and all of that. And so that's really impactful for me to mention that, that doesn't just come from, it comes from both sides. We have the similar struggles. And that's why it's, I want to say, easier, if you will, for us to understand one another, or for Andres to feel comfortable talking to me, because it's kind of like, all right, I went through that already. Or going through it
or went through it.
Or went through it.
It's there.
But it's there, right? And we can relate, and I can advise, or vice versa. And so we talked a little bit about the things that you do in the community. What things do you do that maybe you were told you would never be able to do?
Pretty much all of the above.
Sounds about right.
Actually, I know you've had the same thing, because that's where the conversation started. But when you were born, or before you were born, doctors were your parents were told by doctors you wouldn't be able to walk, talk. You wouldn't be able to do anything on your own, and both of us are here now doing more than
Here we are.
more than we were told we'd be able to.
Right. It's true. We're always told, or our parents are told, what we can do, and sometimes that wants to trickle down on us, literally, right, on us, on a more personal perspective. However, we have to work that much harder. Sometimes we feel to prove otherwise.
To prove that we can.
To prove that we can. Like, yes,
it can get very, like, it can be a heavy load of hearing it, not only from, like, if you do hear it yourself from doctors, but also hearing what your parents were told, what families in general are told about kids, just anyone with a special need or whatever it may be. It weighs down. It can stop you from, if you let it, it'll stop you from getting where you want to be.
Why do you think that is? Like, give me like an example, like, because that's powerful. If you let it weigh you down, and then if you let it stop you, it will stop you. But what's something that you feel you've had to work double hard at in order for that not to happen?
The one thing, again, something we touched on before, but it's the idea of, because I have a different ability, or because I seem like I may not be able to do something on my own, it's someone's always trying to be there to help, and it does help. I won't deny that, but it also, again, takes away part of the independence we're told we should have.
Right, because sometimes, and it's not so much a bad thing, right, or a negative thing, because sometimes or most of the time, I would say people want to help. People want to help, and they might see a need or something that's different for them. Let's be honest; it's not common that we see people with disabilities every day, right? Like anybody else, I would say. And so that's part of the advocacy, to make sure that more people with disabilities are seen and in different environments, whether it's in employment, in church, in worship, places of worship, or in Publix and grocery stores, right? So that the more common it becomes, the more common it is to see, then the less stigma there will be, for lack of a better word, of saying that, oh, well, because they have a disability, they need help. I know that I've gone into places where I go in and right away they want to, I don't know, open the door for me or grab the seat. Or if I'm standing too long, you sure you don't want to sit down?
Do you need to sit down? Can I get you a chair? Are you okay?
Right.
Anything I can help you with?
Right.
The list goes on.
And exactly, the list goes on, which is good. Okay, that's what I want. I want it to be known. It's okay to, ask somebody if they need help and all of that. I think for us is don't assume that we need help because we have a particular disability or a difference, right? And so when we do disability etiquette training, we always say, let the person ask you first, right? Like, and I'm guilty of it.
If I need help, I'll ask.
I'll ask you, because I'm like Mama Bear when I'm with any of them. So I'll say certain, and I'm like, Jesse, no, because you don't like that when they do it to you, so don't do it to him. And so, yes, exactly. Like, let us ask for the help if we need it, right? Let us ask.
Let us let you know that we do need the help, or that we want the help.
Right. That we need the help.
Now, I will admit, on my end at least, I'm not the best at asking for help. I will be the first person to tell you, no, I got this, I don't need, and then I will need the help.
But we talked about it earlier, right? Why do you think that is, that it's so hard for you to ask for help?
Again, it's the independence of you should or you can do this, do it.
Right. But if I can't, guess what? Or if you can't, it's okay. We can't. We ask for help.
Not everyone has to be able to do everything on their own.
Not exactly. And nobody can. If you ask me, nobody can. Nobody can do everything on their own, and nor should we, because it's heavy. And that's when we get into the emotional, strain of, I have to do it myself, and no, it just there's too much pressure. It's too much pressure in society in general, and even amongst each other, to then have to feel like, okay, I have to like carry this weight on my shoulders all by myself. Like, we don't have to do that. And I think that I should say, I know for me, after learning all of that, that's what I want to instill in them, in Andres and all the other young adults that I work with. Like, guys, you don't have to do this thing called life alone. Like, you don't have to. It's okay for you to ask for help, or say that
everyone is trying to figure it out at the same time.
Dude, everybody's trying to figure life out at the same time, right? In our own way, in our own unique way. And so when I have the opportunity to work with Andres, he's volunteering with me. When I'm working, he's volunteering. He's working too. He's working with the other members. He's doing something. He's doing sports, and that's healthy. That's healthy for our minds as well, because we. It's kind of like we've heard the worst place to be is in your own mind sometimes, and it's good to be equipped and to be just busy doing good things, positive things that'll
keeping your mind out, surrounded by other people, is definitely helpful. It helps you decompress, I guess, is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, it helps you have a social life. Decompressing and just sharing your talks, your feelings, emotions, and things like that. So we've talked about just a little bit of everything as far as like asking for help and that kind of thing. And then when we live in a way where we have this disability and we're afraid to ask for help, right? Or we feel like we're going to be judged because we ask for help, or we're told you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to, because if not, you're not successful, or, you have to go to college, because if you don't go to college, you won't make money, or, you
won't succeed in life.
You won't succeed in life. All these stereotypical, societal things that, at the end of the day, and I think this is something that is hard for us to understand ourselves because of what is instilled in us. At the end of the day, if it's not for me, it's not for me. Right? Like a 4-year, 6-year, 10-year degree is not for everybody. It's not for me because I can't do my math for the life of me. Like, it's not gonna
What's
happen.
2 plus 2? Yes.
It's 4. That's all I know. That's all I know. No, I'm just kidding. But math is hard for me and other things, right? So, as a person with a disability, sometimes we feel like if we don't go to college or we don't take this avenue, then we fail. We're a failure. And no, I think it's important to know that there's different avenues for everybody.
There's
right?
a way to get it done for everyone. I was actually one person who, with the pandemic, with everything we went through, I realized the classroom's not really for me. The classroom of like having to sit there, focus, and take notes, take tests, it didn't work for me. It's
Mind you, he's always been somebody to get good grades. You know, because you have to keep the good grades to be
be in band, to be in ROTC, everything that I was in.
He did it
Grades
all.
came first.
He did it all, guys. He did it all. But yeah, you have to maintain your grades and everything. So it's not like he didn't qualify or he didn't have the qualifications to go to college. It just he felt that it wasn't for him, and so you stayed in that environment, if you will, in college for how long?
For, I want to say just over, either over or under a year. But to round it out, about a year.
And what happened? What was that?
It was, as you said, you're not too great with math. Neither am I. So that's where I was hitting a barrier of I had to get past that to continue with with everything I wanted to do. I was going to school for architecture. So it wasn't, there was a lot of math involved. But I'm working on it. We're figuring out the right path.
There you go. So math again is, and
We're adapting and overcoming.
hey, just like the title, right? And improvising, adapting, and overcoming. And I talk about the math jokingly, but math is a real
It's a real struggle.
struggle for us. For whatever reason, whatever part of our brain, has to do with numericals and stuff like that.
You put money in front of me, I'm great with numbers.
Of course, me too. But it's weird. It's a struggle. Test taking, comprehension, memorization, like all those things is was hard for me, and I know that it was hard for you as well. And so he stuck it through for a year, right? Without saying anything, by the way, because I had no idea that all of this was going on in this particular year of life. And then all of a sudden it's like I'm hearing the struggles and what's happening, and that's when, as a person, and correct me if I'm wrong, as a person, on top of the fact that you have your struggles, disability, etc., you feel like you have to keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Because you didn't talk about it for a long time.
I did not talk about it for a long time with pretty much anybody. Mom, dad would hear about it now and again, but that was about it.
But not.
I would even go as far as to say I wouldn't admit it to myself.
Oh. Tell me more.
What I mean by that is I knew I was struggling. I knew I should have asked for help or figured out something sooner. But it falls back onto what we were talking about earlier, where you feel like you're failing if you take that step of asking for help, saying, hey, there's a problem
with self.
Yeah. Right.
And so it's a real thing. And you went through that for a year. You didn't tell anyone. Mom and dad would hear things here and there. Andres, you even had family members helping you, right? Because it goes beyond the academics. It goes beyond, we're just kind of talking about that. But you had family members also helping you or wanting to help you, offering to help. And it goes back to, again, because I remember what I went through when I started driving. I had that fear. Well, I wanted to drive. It was the only thing I wanted in life. And that one person I was counting on to teach me how to drive and help me get my license revoked my license, took my license away, and told me I would never drive again. And that broke me. That put me in a state that I don't wish to be in ever again. And Andres has that opportunity as well, right? Right now it's like everything is kind of like waiting list style, but he does have that opportunity.
There's a checklist.
There is a checklist. There's a long checklist. He does have that opportunity. And so even better, because this boy, he's got a car, his family, like that car is just kind of there nice and pretty waiting for Andres to get himself.
It looks real nice.
It looks beautiful, guys. And it's just waiting for him. But tell me a little bit about that. You even had a fear of that.
Getting on the road with, just on the road in general is terrifying. It's an anxiety of sorts, of just both on my end, but also like the surroundings while being on the road.
Right, which is a valid fear, right?
And how some people drive is a valid fear.
Of course, including me. It's a valid fear. It's a valid feeling, right? But I say the only way to overcome that is by doing it, right? You prepare, improvising. He's going back to his own words. I don't know if I would say improvising, to be honest, because I don't want you to improvise on the road. I want you to safely.
I've seen how you drive.
Anyways, I want you to safely read and memorize the book and get on hands-on experience, which I can't give him, by the way. and that way you little by little overcome that fear. I know I had it when I was told I'd never drive again. I'm like, oh my gosh, can I drive? Can I not? Like, am I doing this right? Am I going to have another accident? Or so many things go through your mind. Yeah. But what we cannot do, and I tell him all the time, what you cannot and will not, because I won't let you do, is let fear paralyze you.
Don't let it stop you.
Don't let it stop you. Whatever you do, don't let it stop you, because once you let it stop you, it's over. That's it, right? You don't try, you don't even do it. And there's a quote, one of my favorites.
Once you tell yourself you can't, that's the worst thing you could do.
Once you tell yourself you can't, that's it, because you're going to believe the things that you say about yourself, right? So one of my favorite quotes is, feel the fear and do it anyway. That's what I tell him. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Because the moment that we stop and let fear paralyze you, it's over.
It's over.
That's it, right? And we're in a good place, and we're blessed to have people around us that care, and people around you that will push you to make it happen. And I tell him the resources that, like I tell you guys, the resources that we have now, the people that we have now, we don't know how long we're going to have that, right?
It's not a forever thing.
It's not a forever thing, especially when we talk about resources and the state agencies and the vocational rehabilitation and the funding and this and that. It's not, you don't know how long it's going to be there. So the time is now. And that's for anybody out there waiting and kind of like, oh, hey, should I do this? Should I apply for this service?
Go for it.
Please go for it. Like I told Andres, I'm like, literally right before the show, I was speaking to somebody on the phone, a specific program that he has, that Andres qualifies for, as I do. He's not on. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you need to do this now. Yesteryears. And I had the coordinator, I let her know, like, hey, I'm going to be calling you for Andres. She takes care of my case, but now she's going to hopefully take care of his.
Both of us?
Oh, yeah. Together forever, never apart. And so that's the beauty of being able to experience different things and be able to assist him in getting those services, applying, getting that, closing the gaps in the services that he needs, because you're not getting any younger.
No, I'm not.
How old are you?
22.
22, and I probably met him.
I was about 12, 11.
12 years old. Same height, just 12 years old.
She's still the same height, too, by the way.
Yeah. So fun times. So yeah, I mean, all in all, guys, that's what we're talking about today is, it's okay to ask for help. We don't know everything.
There's no book.
There is no book. Not yet.
We should write one.
Don't get people started, because I already see somebody that's going to be asking me,
I see it now.
Yeah, when's your book coming out? Brother Rondo says, I'm having trouble getting published because I don't have a master's degree in anything. Huh, interesting. See, I learned something new, because I didn't know that your level of education had anything to do with being published.
I wouldn't have thought that had anything to do with with the ability of getting published.
Right. So I would love to learn more about that when you're, an entrepreneur and you do different things. What are the qualifications, if any, to being published? That's very interesting. Adriana, good evening. David Diaz, Sister Grace, all of you guys tuning in from...
I will take a second. Hola, abuela.
Ay, abuela. ¿Cuándo va a cocinar, abuela?
El domingo.
Okay. Perfect.
I go over on Sundays, so I know the answer.
This is a whole family gathering here right now. So thank you so much for joining, guys. Just talking a little bit of everything: improvise, adapt, and overcome when really going through any particular experience or hardship, etc. But we're talking specifically when you're born with a disability and you're told you're not going to make it, you don't qualify, you're not good enough, you're not going to live very
you weren't
long.
meant for this.
Oh, that just gave me goosebumps. That you weren't meant for
Or
this,
I should say this wasn't meant for you.
or this wasn't meant for you. If you're listening and you sometimes we hear this and we're like, is this real? Like, do people really say things like that? Yes, they do. Like, you're not meant for this. Why did that come to mind? Have you experienced something?
I haven't personally, thankfully, haven't experienced that. I've always had, like we were talking about, a community, a network of people who are willing to work with me. But I know there are people out there who have heard it time and time again, no matter how hard they try or what they do to I guess advocate for themselves.
Right.
They are always met with that it's not for you, or you can't, or you never will.
I mean, when I hear it's not for you, it's a nice way, if you will, of saying you don't qualify or you're not good enough. And I've heard that before. Many years ago, before I started Funklusion in 2014, the reason I started it was because I heard that way too much. You don't qualify, you're not good enough, you're a liability. If you walk on the runway, you're a liability if you fall. Basically, you cost too much money. You cost too much money. Yes, I do. But I'm worth that much more. And so, yeah, I've heard that before, where you don't qualify. And so that stays on our minds, to where, like, okay, well, if I don't qualify and I'm not good enough because of my disability in this case, then how do you expect me to feel qualified to go get a job? Right? To
get that education.
Right? Even though there are services and accommodations and different things that we qualify for in the education system, even on the job, how do you expect me to go get these things when you're already telling me I'm not qualified, or I'm not good enough, or I'm a liability, or go do something else?
Find something easier to do. You tell me there's something easier, I'm gonna prove you wrong so quickly.
Go find something easier to do. And Andres, tell them what your major is, because you are going back to school. What is your major in school?
My major is architecture. Architectural design, more specifically.
Architectural design. When I tell you the drawings and the designs and stuff of this young man, amazing. And that just actually brought something to my mind, that I decree and declare that Andres is going to be an ADA.
There will be ramps and handicap parking everywhere.
Yes, ADA compliance and ADA everything. Ramps and accessibility
elevators,
for bathrooms, elevators, all of that stuff.
All of the above.
That has to be already included in the design.
From step one, it should be there.
Correct.
It shouldn't have to be an afterthought.
Oh, we think alike so much, guys, that I literally is what I was gonna say. It should not be an afterthought. It should already be already a part of the design before the construction takes place. Brother Randu says, are there any resources for unpublished authors that don't have master's degree? I have no idea. We're gonna have to find out about that. And we have Sister Mina here at New Season. We can find out with her if she has any resources as it pertains to publishing, or and master's degrees and all of that. I have no idea. Yes, absolutely. So thank you guys so much. I love reading the comments. Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out for you, Brother Randu, and see, and you and me both, because I will publish a book soon. I will. Yes, we'll have a chapter in the book. Yes, with all my children.
I'll take just a few pages.
Just a few pages.
Not a whole chapter. It doesn't have to be a whole chapter. I'll accept a few pages.
That's what he's saying now, pero es todo o nada.
I could write the whole book.
Exactly. So I love it. I love the fact that you're here with me, Andres, and sharing part of your story. It's a testimony, guys. It's a testimony of what is possible, and that what we do matters. What we do matters. Again, I've known Andres for over 10 years or so, and he was spotted. He was spotted by me, and we've been together ever since through the fashion show and all of that. Which, by the way,
is coming up.
yes, it's coming up.
Shameless plug there.
Yes, it's coming up, which is really cool because Andres has been a little missing in action from the fashion show for a little bit. So
I gotta give the people what they want again.
so this is his return to the stage. So we will be doing our fashion show again. As a matter of fact, our whole production, Future Floristic Conclusion, in partnership with the Quick to Love Foundation, all about the arts and inclusion and diversity of individuals with disabilities, from an inclusive fashion show, spoken word poetry and performances, musical talents, performances of individuals with and without disabilities. And it's to say, yes, I'm different. Yes, I have a disability, but I have talent, skills, and abilities. And that's what we want the community to see.
This is what I can do.
This is what I can do. This is what I can do. This is what I will do. And so that's coming up May 4th. May the 4th be with you. I know that's coming. May 4th at the Broward Center for the Performing Arts at 3:30. It is available on Ticketmaster and the browardcenter.org website. I'll post a flyer. I'm constantly posting and reposting, guys. So if you follow Yes with Yesse across all social media platforms, you'll see that and everything else going on.
I've seen it a couple times, so you guys will not be able to miss it.
No, you won't. I post.
Facebook, Instagram, it's everywhere.
I'm a poster. I post. So an all-inclusive show celebrating our talents, our skills, and our abilities. May 4th at the Broward Center for the Performing Arts. Tickets available on Ticketmaster and browardcenter.org website. You don't want to miss it. Of course, thank you to New Season and New Season Gospel FM, our bishop, Pastor Henry, everyone for your support, for everything I do, and including this event. And so I look forward to all that is to come. Again, thank you. This is what it's all about, guys. Community. As we are here in New Season, we are family. We are all one, regardless of our differences, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Here we are, and that's what it's all about. So I'm excited. I'm so happy to have had Andres here. Sister Joy, good evening. Thank you so much for joining. And so, Andres, anything that you would want the people to know about you, or advice that you would have for others that might be watching, that are, intrigued, or that need some kind of advice, like, I'm on the verge of giving up, I don't want to do this anymore, what would you tell them?
The one thing I will say is, actually, since you mentioned I'm on the verge of giving up, don't do it. It's not worth it. Like we were talking about earlier, once you stop, who knows when you'll go back. If you go back, keep going, push through it, and you'll find it. You'll improvise, adapt, and overcome. You will get through it.
You will get through it no matter what. And then as long as you don't give up, there is a chance. There is still an opportunity, a tomorrow.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Hey, where there's a will, there is a way. And I would definitely, say that a lot of times we worry about the what if. What if I fail? What if it doesn't go the way that I want it to go? What if somebody says something, or what if somebody looks at me? Or what if somebody
look back at them?
Hey, that's the real guy right there. Somebody looks at you, you look back at them, and you smile, right? And so it, or sometimes we think about, it should have gone this way, or it should have gone that way, or I should have done this.
Things work out the way they're supposed to.
Things work out the way they're supposed to, guys. Things work together for the good of those that are called according to God's purpose. And that's what I firmly believe, that we are living a life of purpose, on purpose, with a purpose, regardless of our differences. And if it was given to you, and if it was given to me, if it was given to Andres, it's because we can. Because we're strong enough to get through it, to work through it, to make it happen. Is it easy? No. Is it worth it?
Never will be.
But is it worth it?
Always.
Absolutely. It is always
worth it.
Always worth it. Life is always worth it. And I think for us, and actually I'll ask Andres, because for me, community is important, as I always talk about. And so, what is something that you think has helped you to overcome and to get as far as you have?
It's definitely the same place you're coming from. The community, having the support system, the people there. It keeps you motivated when. How can I put it? For lack of better words, it helps you get out of bed when you don't want to.
Amen. Amen to that. It helps you get out of bed when you don't want to.
We were just talking about this earlier. I did not want to get up this morning, and now here I am.
He didn't want to get up this morning. Andres, where are you? That was me. Where are you? Are you on the transportation yet? And so sometimes we need that.
Are we there yet?
Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Sometimes we need that push, right? We need that motivation, that push, that there is something out there, that there is something to look forward to. There is always something to look forward to, and listen and be mindful of the voice that you resonate with. Does that make sense? Because you can hear the same thing from, let's say 3 different people, but you're not going to receive it the same way, right? Maybe somebody else would have called him this morning and said, "Nope, get up, let's go. Time to go to work," and he would have been like, "No, I'm staying in bed," right? But I called him, and he was there in like less.
If I ignored it, it would just come in 5 minutes later.
Hey, yeah, he got.
It's a good thing.
Yes,
it's a good thing.
He got out of bed and he comes. So there's voice that we listen to, that motivate, that inspire, that push us to be the best version of ourselves. Find those voices, stick to those voices, and don't let them go, because it is so much harder to do life alone in this world. So that's definitely something that we do not want to do. We do not want, nor do we need to do this thing called life alone. So
when you have someone like Yesse in your life, it's more fun when you don't do it alone.
Hey, that's there you go. When I wobble, he wobbles. No, and
to
so
the left and the right.
There you go, to the left and to the right. So that's what it's all about, guys. Motivation and community, and we're all one. We're all in this together. So the same way that I get motivated coming here, speaking to you guys, and throwing these topics, and your support is everything. That's what it's all about. So. Thank you so much for joining Yes with Yesse. We have a few minutes left, and so just thank you for joining. Do me a favor, share the broadcast, let others know that we are here on New Season Gospel FM, and the courtesy of New Season Worship Center, which I'm going to ask you about that actually for just a moment. New Season Worship Center, we will be here. Of course, tomorrow is Fun Friday, so join Pastor Henry first thing in the morning for In His Presence prayer time, followed by the Pastor Steve show at 8 o'clock. And then Minister Yesse will be back for noontime prayer on Saturday morning as well. And then we see you back here on Sunday for our Sunday service at 11 a.m. So that's everything that's coming up. Busy, busy, busy. I love it. I love it. I love it. Andres.
Yesenia.
He's coming to church, by the way. He doesn't know that yet, but he's coming to church. Spiritually, I know you believe in God. Tell me a little bit about that experience, and what does that mean to you? How do you think God influences your life?
To put it this way, my family, my grandparents, grandmother, abuela Adriana, te estoy hablando a ti. They've always called me their miracle child, because like we were talking about earlier, they were always told, oh, he won't do this, he won't do that, he won't do the other, and here I am. So there is he is there. He watches over us. He takes care of us. He gives us what he knows we can do.
Papa will never give you more than you can handle, right? And so I think that that's very important, that we continue to increase our faith in God, knowing that we are because he is. We have been made with a purpose. We are not sin. It is not a sin to have a disability or to be different, which I've talked about before.
Everyone is different.
Everybody's different, and I've talked about it before. We have been uniquely and wonderfully made in his image to do his work, to do what perhaps the next person is not qualified or doesn't have the ability to do, because it wasn't given to them. It was given to you. It was given to me. It was given to Andres. And because it was given to us, we have a responsibility to pay it forward, to help others the same way that
Make a difference.
to make a difference, the same way people have made a difference in us and instilled in us so much positivity and goodness. And so I love that. I know for me, my goal is to bring everybody to church and let them know, like, look, you're welcome, you're embraced, you're loved, you are, you have talents, skills, abilities. And so that's what we're working towards. And I think we can definitely get it done. Definitely can get it done. So I am going to play one of my favorite songs before we say see you later to our audience here at New Season Gospel FM. Thank you again, everyone, so much for joining Yes with Yesse, where we talked about all things disability, our testimonies, and improvising, adapting, and overcoming regardless of our situations and the things that we live day in and day out, right? So improvising, adapting, and overcoming. So what is it that you have to adapt to or overcome today? And I just want to let you know that it's all about the mind. It's all about the power of the mind, being positive, saying yes to yourself, saying yes to your skills, your abilities,
Telling yourself you can do it.
Telling yourself you can do it, right? Telling yourself you can do it, and allowing others to be in your community, in your circle, to help you. That's what it's all about, right?
Yeah.
So
I couldn't have said it better myself.
hey, that's what we do. That's how we do it.
¿Quién rompe el poder del pecado? Su amor es fuerte y poderoso. El Rey de gloria, el Rey de majestad. Conmueve el mundo con su estruendo y nos asombra con maravillas. El Rey de gloria, el Rey de majestad. Gracias sublime es, perfecto es tu amor. Tomaste mi lugar, cargaste tú mi cruz, tu vida diste ahí. Y ahora libre soy. Oh, Jesús, te adoro por lo que hiciste en mí. Oh, oh, oh. Pusiste en orden todo el caos, nos adoptaste como tus hijos, el Rey de gloria, el Rey de majestad. El que gobierna con su justicia y resplandece con su belleza, el Rey de gloria, el Rey de majestad. Oh, gracias sublime es, perfecto es tu amor. Tomaste mi lugar, cargaste tú mi cruz, tu vida diste ahí. Y ahora libre soy. Oh, Jesús, te adoro por lo que hiciste en mí. Digno es el Cordero de Dios, digno es el Rey que la muerte venció. Digno es el Cordero de Dios, digno es el Rey que la muerte venció. Digno es el Cordero de Dios, digno es el Rey que la muerte
Jesús, te adoro por lo que hiciste en mí. God, I love you. Jesus, I love you for what you have done in me. And no matter what we see on the outside, what matters is what God has done for you and for me on the inside. And no matter our obstacles and our hardships, it's what we can do, And we will get it done. We can, and we will get it done as long as we set our mind to it. Andres, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for joining me. And don't give up. Whatever you do, don't give up. Got to keep going.
Never.
All right. So thank you guys for joining another episode of Yes with Yesse. You can follow Yes with Yesse across all social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, also yeswithyesse.com, yeswithyesse.com, and you'll be able to see all the things Yesse with the disability related services. If you know anyone, go ahead, share this broadcast and share Yes with Yesse. You'll be able to contact me, and let's just make sure that our community knows that there are services out there. There are services available for everyone, and no one has to do life alone. So until next time, I look forward to seeing you guys next Thursday on another episode of Yes with Yesse. In the meantime, see you guys tomorrow morning for prayer time with Pastor Henry at 6:30 a.m., followed by the Pastor Steve show. And then we shall do it all over again. Have an amazing rest of your evening. And I know that we are going to get ready to go home. We're going to get ready to go home. So last one before I let you guys go. And again, I look forward to seeing you guys next Thursday on another episode of Yes with Yesse.
Yeah. I'm living proof, of what the mercy of God can